As always, we are, of course, in conversation with several of the biggest names of India Inc., entrepreneurs and corporates from various sectors, decoding how this very difficult year has been like for, several ventures profiled on our show. Well, joining us today, a Power Pack panel.
Sravant, your reflections on how 2020 has been for you, and as you head in 2021, what is the roadmap you see for your company?
I appreciate the time and the mind share, Anurag, and advanced Happy New Year to all the viewers. But I probably belong to, as Avatar, we belong to the bucket of EdTech in the sense that we do augmented reality as a platform. And at the core of it, we bridge the online-offline experience gap, if you can put it in semantically simple words. And then what that does is kind of help brands today in the post-COVID tunnel shift their physical ecosystem into digital, right? So we're seeing a lot of acceleration on digital transformation, both in terms of consumers being at home and therefore the adoption curve going faster than anticipated. Equally, we're seeing brands taking a lot more importance to this. And so the entire ecosystem, I'd say, in the last year has seen rapid acceleration.
Yeah, clearly, omni-channel experience with online thrown in a lot of categories, which to get the real world, old world feel have to use tools that you provide to be able to kind of have the experience they had before COVID. Now tell us, you've already seen, say, retail like jewelry, whether you talk of healthcare, already telemedicine is big. As we move into 2021, what are the other sectors that may not use AR, VR in a big way, but 2021 will be a year that will see them using AR, VR in a big way?
Yeah. Anurag, before maybe answering that question, just to set the context, right? AR has probably seen the acceleration even in 2019, in the sense that with the giants like a Google or an Apple pushing the OEM system, the smartphone OEM system about 2-3 years back, we saw a big inflection in circulation of handsets that are in consumer hands and today AR compliant, right? So that with the confluence of COVID has probably come together. And therefore the applicability, I'd say, is not just look and fit evaluation like you'd think AR to be, which is drop a furniture in your living room and literally have an experience that you couldn't have yesterday. But equally, it's about storytelling, it's about mind share recall, it's about information dissemination. So we're seeing use cases from training to knowledge transfer literally. And we're seeing significantly high recall when you have immersive storytelling, right? So I'd say across all industries, secularly, we're seeing traction today, from digital commerce to digitally influenced commerce to even brands which are more native digitally favored.
Your lockdown lessons of 2020, not just professionally but also personally, Sravant, because it's been a very difficult year for all of us, and I think a lot of people learned a lot about themselves and about their loved ones personally, but also professionally about teammates. Because that thin line between personal and professional was a bit mixed this year.
Yeah, so true. But I could concur all the views on the professional sides. Maybe I'll take a more personal side as you requested. To us, at least at Avatar, what we realized is this adversity kind of bonded us, in the sense that adversity brings two things into play. Right? One is the necessity, which, as someone wise said, is the mother of invention. So we've been very innovative this year in terms of both personal work-life balance to how we carry about business in the remote world that we exist in today. Equally, I'd say, adversity was very instrumental in bonding the team together, because we started realizing that life is uncertain and the journey is probably as important as the outcome is. And I do feel that 2020 taught us the importance of being in the present and being, journey focused as much as outcome focused, which I think brought the team together, right? So we find ourselves closer to each other, I'd say, than compared to the last year end.
Okay. These are very philosophical input, but let me ask you, you've seen the government has been in play for the last 9 months, right from RBI's interventions to the stimulus package, to policy announcements, to long-term reform. What is your judgment of how the government has done? What can it do from here on? And what are your expectations from the union budget, which is 4.5 months away, 4.5 weeks away? start with you first.
And also, what was something that was good that was announced this year for perhaps your sector or your venture? So, what was something good? If you found anything good, that is, if you didn't, that's all right. And be honest. Our show has been all about honesty this year. And also, what was missing perhaps is something that you would expect in the budget as well, Dr. Batra, as we've been talking about. February first week is when the budget's going to be announced. So all eyes on that. Pre-budget consultations have already begun, in fact, of the finance minister. So yes, who are we beginning with, Dr. Batra?
I said Sravant, but we can start with Sravant and go around here.
Sure, Mr. Batra. From my perspective, at least, the focus on digital transformation has been pretty solid, I would say. Also, India is probably at the ecosystem of that leapfrog into 5G. And so there are very bright days ahead, I'd say, for the local ecosystem from a digital consumer base, if you will. And so my only hope for the government is to keep the focus on primarily the digital infrastructure. That we have a population that is quite challenging, and to serve this population and the demand that it will generate would not be an easy task. And so continued focus on that would I think, keep us on the right track. I do believe that we're quite well positioned as a country at this point. Obviously, COVID brings in a lot of GDP challenges, and so I'll leave that to the experts. But at least from where I see it in my seat, I think we're in the right direction, on the right track.
Final word, Sravant Aluru, your word on when the economy will be back in full bloom and why?
I'll go with what I'm hearing in the market, and most of the CEOs are actually looking at Spanish flu, for example, and expecting a V recovery. But the V recovery is likely going to be a W recovery given new mutations. And so the general expectation, I'd say, is in the camp of 12 to 18 months. And so at least the plans that I see being formed today are assuming there is going to be a 12 to 18 month tunnel ahead. And accordingly, all the budgets, all allocations are taking shape. So that'll likely have some manifestation, I believe.
Okay.
And we've all learned to be agile. So if the recovery is better than what we all expect, clearly we'll all be there, be able to contribute to that recovery.